All right, so get this. Ready for a deep dive into some seriously cool AI stuff? We're talking game changers in healthcare,
Mm.
saving the planet, and like building AI we can actually trust.
It's pretty mind-blowing, to be honest, how fast this field is moving. Like every day there's something new that makes you think, whoa, hold on, the future is now.
No kidding, right. Okay, so first up, let's talk about this AI that's basically rewriting the rules for diagnosing Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative diseases
Yeah, this one's a biggie.
because it can predict the disease like 10 years before symptoms even show up.
10 years, that's right. Which is, wild when you think about it, because we've always thought of these diseases as being like this inevitable decline, right?
Oh boy.
But with this much lead time, it's like suddenly the whole game changes. We're talking prevention, early intervention, maybe even a cure someday.
So how does it actually work? Does it like read your mind or something?
Haha, not quite. It's all about brain scans. This AI analyzes them, but it digs way deeper than any human doctor could. It spots these super subtle patterns, tiny changes that are like the very first whispers of the disease taking hold.
So it's like having a superpower, seeing something invisible to the naked eye.
Yeah, exactly. And because of that, it can flag a potential problem way before any outward signs would show up. I mean, think about what that means for people.
It's got to be huge, right? Like just the peace of mind of knowing or the chance to make lifestyle changes.
Absolutely. I mean, early diagnosis means you can get into clinical trials, start treatments earlier, maybe even slow or prevent the disease altogether. It's like giving people their future back.
Okay, seriously amazing stuff.
Yeah.
But I got to ask, what about AI for the planet? I know there's some buzz about biodiversity AI, but I'm not really sure what it is.
So imagine this. You've got like a real-time global view of every ecosystem on Earth.
Like, seriously?
Satellites, drones, and sensors on the ground all feeding information into this AI system. It's like having a planet-sized security system that can spot trouble before it gets out of hand.
Okay, that sounds kind of sci-fi, but I'm intrigued.
Right. So picture this. Satellites pick up changes in deforestation patterns. Drones with super high-res cameras zoom in on animal populations. And then the sensors are tracking things like soil health, temperature, you name it.
So it's like we're finally getting a handle on what's actually happening out there.
Yes. And all that data goes to conservationists, governments, the people who can actually make a difference. They can see, okay, this species is struggling. This forest is being illegally logged. We got to act now.
Wow. So we're not just talking about collecting data, we're talking about actually using it to protect the planet.
Right. It's all about turning information into action, protecting endangered species, cracking down on illegal activity, making sure we're managing resources sustainably. It's powerful stuff.
So AI can diagnose diseases before we even know we're sick
Yeah.
and help us protect the planet. It sounds pretty good, but like, how do we make sure this all stays, ethical?
That's $1 million question, right? And honestly, it's something everyone working in AI is grappling with. The good news is there's a lot of work being done on that front. In fact, there's this new international framework for ethical AI development that's getting a lot of attention.
Okay, so what's in this framework? Is it like a rule book for robots?
Haha, not quite. It's more like a set of guiding principles. It's all about making sure AI is developed responsibly and used for good.
So give me the highlights. What are the key points?
Well, transparency is huge. We need to understand how AI makes decisions, like what data it's using, how it's learning, all of that. No black boxes.
Makes sense. What else?
Accountability is another big one. So if an AI makes a bad call, who's responsible? We got to figure that out. And of course, there's privacy, right? Our data is out there, and we got to make sure AI is using it ethically and responsibly.
Yeah, no one wants their personal info ending up in the wrong hands.
Right. And it's not just about protecting individuals, it's about making sure AI isn't perpetuating biases or discrimination. Because AI learns from data, and if that data is biased, the AI can become biased too.
Whoa, okay, I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah, it's a real concern. But the good news is we're catching on to these issues early and working to build safeguards into the system.
Okay, so we've got AI spotting diseases early, AI protecting the environment, and now we're talking about ethical guidelines to make sure it all stays on the right track.
Exactly. And it's all happening right now. It's not some distant future scenario. This is the world we're living in.
This is pretty wild, isn't it?
Totally. And the thing is, this is just the beginning. Who knows what the next 10, 20 years will bring?
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with something to think about. How do you see AI shaping the future? What are you excited about? What are your concerns? Because honestly, this is a conversation we all need to be having. AI is here to stay, and it's up to us to figure out how to make it work for everyone.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's up to all of us to shape this future.
Absolutely. Thanks for diving into this with me.
My pleasure.
And to everyone listening, keep those questions coming, keep learning, and let's build a future we can all be proud of.